Sean Payton continues to point out problem areas, and they aren't Bo Nix. Welcome into your Denver Sports Daily for September 10th. Let's go.
Taking you through your morning headlines, it's Denver Sports Daily with Rachel V. Hill.
On Sunday, the Broncos lost 26-20 in Seattle, and lots of the blame on social media has been going to Broncos quarterback Bo Nix, saying that they picked the wrong guy. He's not the dude that everyone thought he was going to be. Preseason was just a bust, and everything under the sun that you can think of to pretty much dog on the rookie QB is being said on social media. Pat Surtain took to social media to step back and say, you guys, this is all part of the game. Why are we hating on this man? But what about Sean Payton? He put no blame essentially on quarterback Bo Nix on Sunday, and he continued that exact same stance when it came to the blame that he was putting on Monday during a press conference. Take a listen.
Look, certainly, like I saw a 3-step and a hitch instead of a 5 and a hitch on a certain play. We'll get that cleaned up. But overall, when he's climbing a pocket or he's on the move, extending a play, there's times where the ball's going to get away from you. But my bigger concern today, number one, the first half provided, that game early was there a little bit for the taking. We didn't take advantage of the field position, the interception by Alex. We're sitting there in a perfect position to really go up, and we don't take advantage of the field position there. Our red zone offense, wasn't nearly as good as it needed to be. And, we did have some drops early on, but I think when I watch this tape offensively, we need to be better around him, and we will be.
And we will be. In that press conference, he in fact does talk about the running backs, how Jaleel McLaughlin and Javonte Williams couldn't get things going. He also talks about how the offensive line needs to do a better job. You heard him talk about the missed passes. There was a lot to dive into when it came to the Broncos' loss against Seattle, and it seems like Sean Payton is already focusing on all of those little details. The Broncos are off today. They had meetings yesterday, went over the film, but also you got to be able to look at the head coach, and does he need to do better? I was very critical of him on Coffee Break yesterday with James Merlot, saying, I don't think Sean Payton necessarily put the best game plan for Bo Nix in front of him, but the head coach, in fact, does think that he could do better. Take a listen.
Yeah, here we are. The game's over. We have to ask ourselves as coaches, all right, if we played it again, what would we have done different? And there are a handful of things that I felt like I didn't do a good enough job with relative to the inner triangle as to what we were seeing.
Yeah, indeed. So there's stuff that Sean Payton and them need to clear up. There's stuff that the entire offense needs to clear up. Defensively, this Broncos team looked pretty good. Yes, I know that the second half did not represent the first, but let's be real. They were out on the field for a majority of the time. So what can you expect from a bunch of guys in week one who are still getting acclimated to being out there for all 60 minutes? So plenty of good stuff from the Broncos defense, things you still got to work on, of course, and then hopefully the offense can clean up a lot and get to scoring a few more points. I'm a little nervous about this upcoming Sunday. Of course, when we have the Pittsburgh Steelers coming into town, will Russell Wilson start? It's a great question. We'll keep you guys updated on all of that injury information. But Justin Fields looking relatively solid. I know James Merlot, if you watched Coffee Break yesterday, he was giving me crap because he was like, Justin Fields played horrible. And I'm like, no, I didn't think he played that bad. Yeah, was he boring? Of course he was, but that's going to be also this Broncos offense. So it is what it is. But we are also passing along our condolences to a Broncos legend who unfortunately has passed away at the young age of 53 as well. So we're heartbroken and pass along our condolences to his family, and that's remembering former linebacker Alan Aldridge Jr. passed away, 52 years old, excuse me. I believe I said 53. But Aldridge was a starter for the Broncos Super Bowl 32 championship team. He was selected in the 1994 NFL Draft. He played 4 seasons with Denver from 1994 to 1997, and then he went to the Detroit Lions until 2001. The cause of his death is currently unknown. Like I mentioned, we pass along our condolences to his entire family and to Broncos country, as well as he was obviously a legend in the community. Let's head on over to the New York Jets. They obviously fell to the 49ers yesterday on Monday Night Football, and Aaron Rodgers returned, and a lot of people were really excited about this. I don't think if you're a Jets fan, it's exactly what you were expecting from Aaron Rodgers as he came out. They've got to be better if they're going to try and get back to the playoffs and take on the 49ers again. That was one thing that Aaron Rodgers said post-game. was essentially that the 49ers are a championship level team and that they hope that they can meet them again this season. But you might have also noticed that Jets cornerback Sauce Gardner was missing for a good chunk of time as the 49ers were driving down the field. As one of their best players, you would assume, hey, why aren't you out there? This ends up happening in the second quarter, and the Jets told ESPN that Gardner was not out of the game because of an injury, but did not provide any further information on why he was on the sideline as Brock Purdy completed 6 straight passes to move the 49ers down the field. Now, Gardner returned for the final couple of snaps of that drive, but the reason that he was out was because he had the wind knocked out of him. He explained, it was a tackle that I made. I just had to get my wind back. I had to shake back. When I felt like I was good, I went back on the field. So a huge bummer for him not to be out there, of course, as the 49ers are moving down the field. But if you can't breathe, you can't breathe. You can't fault him for that, but he was able to go back out there. So if you had Brock Purdy or any of the 49ers guys on your fantasy team, then you were probably just a little bit stoked that he was not out there for that drive. Now we'll go over to Brandon Ayuk and the 49ers, because do we remember all of the rumors coming out that he was going to be joining the Pittsburgh Steelers? Well, that deal was literally this close from happening. In fact, Kyle Shanahan had to run from his office to John Lynch's office to say, hey, stop the phone call right now. We'll call you back in just a second. Get ready for these details. Before agreeing to the 4-year, $120 million contract extension with the 49ers, they say that literally Ayuk came into the facility early on that day, and Kyle Shanahan literally had to run up to John Lynch's office. So the football operations president. You guys get this. So Fox Sports claims the day it actually got done that the 49ers were trading him to the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was already en route, and then all of a sudden, Brandon Ayuk happened to show up early to the facilities, and he tried to go talk to Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan was trying to get in touch with the front office to say, hey, let's not do this. So like I said, he literally had to run upstairs to John Lynch's office and tell him while they were on the phone with him, hey, we'll call you back right now. He then talked to Ayuk for probably 2 hours before telling him, look, you have until the end of practice to decide what essentially you want to do. If you want to stay here in San Francisco, we want to keep you here. But if not, then you're going to go to Pittsburgh. And Brandon Ayuk came back and said, this is where I want to be. And of course, look at where he ends up staying now. So just a crazy story overall of how close it was from Brandon Ayuk going to Pittsburgh. And then Kyle Shanahan, I just can't get over, and I can picture it in my head, him literally sprinting upstairs to John Lynch's office to try and say, hey, nope, can't do this. So I just have that like visually in my head of trying to watch Kyle Shanahan just like book it across the facility. But he was that close to being on the move. It was definitely happening. And if you're the Steelers, you're like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Here we are thinking we're going to get somewhat of a stud of a wide receiver, and then we get hung up on essentially. Okay, some other news, because this goes back to the Jets essentially, but Hassan Reddick's contract extension, a lot of people have been waiting to see if he was going to show up for any of these games, and he's already racked up more than $5 million in fines, and it's about to get way more expensive. By him missing the game on Monday night, he forfeited, get ready for this number, $800,000 by not playing on Monday night. He will continue to forfeit $800K for each game that he misses going forward. He's wanting a new contract extension after joining the Jets in the offseason with that trade to the Eagles. Just insane to think about the fact that he is missing out on $800,000 per game, and he already has fines of more than $5 million. I'm like, ooh, you must be really wanting that contract extension, because that is a lot of money to miss out on. And I don't think that there's going to be any deal anytime soon. We'll head on over to the college ball now, because I'm so pumped for this weekend. We got the Rocky Mountain Showdown. It is so close on Saturday night, 5:30 p.m. And it was one of the most viewed football games in all of 2023, with ESPN's College Game Day in town to showcase the two Colorado State universities, or two Colorado universities with Colorado State and then Colorado. And a year later, the rivalry continues to heat up. People are more excited about it. How could we forget the overtime game? It was insane up there in Boulder, but I am pumped up for the opportunity for it to be in Fort Collins at Canvas Stadium. Tickets are pretty hard to come by at this point, but it should be really good. It's a short drive for Buffs fans. Ram fans are obviously going to be excited about it. I'm pumped. I'm going to be there. I truthfully cannot wait for the game, but Both teams sit at 1-1 on the season. They both feature a win against a low-tier school and a blowout loss to a power school, CSU losing to Texas and Nebraska beating CU. But there are kind of some similar ways that both of these schools' football programs are looking right now, which is also reflected in a lot of the stuff. Like I said, last year's overtime game, 43-35. The scoreboard, I feel like, it seems like it wasn't that close, right? A lot of the times when you see kind of those overtime games, you expect it to be like a 1 or 2 point, maybe even 3 points because you got a field goal, but it really was that close, and it came down to just crazy football, which was so fun. But CU is currently favored by 7.5 points by nearly every single sports book right now. So that line has come down from the opening of 9 points by some odds makers, with CU losing to Nebraska, but essentially they're expecting it still to be a really, really close game. The over or under, I believe, is set at 59.5 points, which is pretty good. And then last year, in case you forgot, it drew 9.3 million viewers. It was the 12th largest college football game watched last year. So I'm expecting good things again, and I am absolutely pumped up for some good football this weekend, you guys. Let me know who you're taking. If you're taking the Buffs, I promise you won't hurt my feelings, but I am so stoked about the opportunity to be up there in Fort Collins, where I went to school, to be able to watch this game. So let me know who you are taking. Now, I mentioned yesterday that we are 2 weeks away from the Avalanche taking the ice for their first preseason game. Well, some of them are going to non-voluntary practice, which was the Avalanche, and you can see some big names. Arturi Lehkonen is on there, Casey Middlestat, Nathan McKinnon showing up, Sam Girard's obviously on that list, Ross Colton, Georgiev is on there, Devontae, Malwood, Josh Manson. So lots of names that people are pretty familiar with, but it's definitely exciting stuff as things get rolling. I'm pumped up about it. I'm excited for Avalanche hockey to be back. I would love the opportunity to hopefully see the Avs bring another cup to the Mile High City. You still have Cale Makar. You still have Nathan McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen. Like, come on, just do it one more time, guys. Let's see if we can get that. All right, let's see. I love reading your guys' comments. Good morning, Rachel. The sky isn't falling. This was his first game. No one expected us to win. Did we expect them to play better? Yes, but this wasn't all on Bo. You are 100% correct. Expectations were very high, and that's because of what we saw in the preseason, but things get a lot harder week 1. We learned that. Hopefully they're able to go into week 2 with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, saying, you know what, we can be better than we were last week. Knowing Sean Payton, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what we're going to see. Good morning, Rachel. Good morning. Let's see. Caleb didn't have a good day either. Nope, can't forget. Caleb Williams did not have a good day. He was also the talk of the town, essentially. Let's see. Rachel, how did your King Supers picks turn out? That's actually a great question. Let's just go take a little gander over there. I don't know. I just went to my actual King Supers thing. King Supers Pick'em. I don't feel like I did too good. I'm not gonna lie. I am not in last place though, so that is good. I got 11 out of 16 correct. Not bad, actually. I'm kind of okay with that. Let's go back to week 1. So I obviously didn't get KC. We picked Baltimore. I didn't get Atlanta. Although Kirk Cousins, you really disappointed me. Tennessee beat Chicago. I picked Cincinnati over New England. I feel like everyone and their mother did that. And then I picked Cleveland over Dallas. But otherwise, everything was good. So I'm like middle of the pack. You can check it out on our welcome page. It's just Pick'em, the fan Pick'em. James Merlat's actually leading the pack right now with 14 out of 16. But I'll take my 11 out of 16. Let's see. Some other names you guys might be familiar with. Will Peterson, he got 8 out of 16. Philip Lindsay got 8 out of 16. Zach By got 10 out of 16. Let's see. Mark Schlereth and I were tied at 11. So not too bad. Andrew Mason, same. We're tied at 11. So not bad. I'll take those. Let's see. LMFAO, I'm watching on YouTube and Facebook. Got to turn one off. Well, first of all, I love that you can comment on both of them. So yes, please do. If you're watching us on YouTube, definitely subscribe. Hang out with us. We're here every single weekday morning, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. and then 12 p.m. for myself on coffee break. Let's see. Paul, CSU will win. Let's go Rams. Let's go. O-line is awful. Let's see. Rachel, have you seen all of the Avs getting back on the ice for camp? Are we going to start getting some reports from camp from your team? Yeah, not the Broncos. The Avalanche actually have a press conference coming up here. I believe it's on the 17th, which will be like the start of essentially everything, which is crazy. I'm so pumped. So yeah, there will be a lot more action. The NHL is very quiet in the off season. There's not a lot of stuff going on. It's very different than the NFL, even the NBA, I feel like. So there will definitely be some more Avalanche coverage coming to you guys. I believe that we will have Mile High Hockey starting back up as well. I don't know who's going to be hosting that this year, but I know that will be coming back. And then, yeah, I mean, it's exciting to see them out on the ice. I think it's also still so mind-blowing to me that if you are an Avalanche fan, you can literally go down to Family Sports and watch Nathan MacKinnon take the ice in front of you for free, and you can just sit there and take it all in, which is really cool. So we'll be excited to see how many more guys end up showing up for these voluntary camps. I think I said non-voluntary. It was voluntary camps right now, just taking the ice, getting warmed up, getting ready. You know, Nathan MacKinnon's got this huge chip on his shoulder. He wants to go out there and win another one, and we hopefully can see that happen. So yeah, I would say there will be more coverage coming to you. We'll keep you guys updated here as well. And then, yeah, we got Avs rolling up, Broncos obviously going on. We got college ball obviously going on. We got Nuggets going to be starting up here soon. Like, things are going to get really, really crazy here in the next couple of weeks, but plenty of fun stuff also for us to be able to talk about. So if there's anything, I saw somebody talking about what about UNC versus Abilene Christian University? Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see. I feel like that's one of the things where our viewership is so heavy on Broncos, so we obviously want to cater to that a lot. And obviously, I see Mel's comment talking about the Avs. We're going to be talking about the Avs, but if there's anything outside of like the main sports that you see us talking about, please let us know. I would love to know that. It helps me decide what to talk about. It helps me decide what we should be talking about and picking in all of that kind of jazz. So yeah, please let us know. That would be super helpful. We have not seen any of your coworkers jump in a pool lately, LOL. We haven't been traveling. We need to get back to a championship. We need the Nuggets. We need the Avalanche, the Broncos, somebody to get back to a championship. And hopefully we can see some people jump in the pool. But that is going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily today. I appreciate you guys all so much. James Palmer is on with me today for coffee break. So come hang out, bring all of your questions, and then we will see you guys tomorrow, 10 a.m. Bye, everybody.